Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jocelyn, and for today's topic, I'm going to provide you the latest travel restrictions in the Philippines. This is regarding the requirement of a 48-hour negative test prior to arrival. Is it possible that the RT-PCR test could be dropped soon as a COVID entry requirement? There is a huge possibility that Philippines will adopt the antigen test requirement for entry by April 1st. However, we don't know all the details regarding this information. But there are different scenarios. First, who will be required RT-PCR test by April, and who will be allowed to enter using antigen test only. Please take note that if you are a Filipino, whether you are an overseas Filipino worker or non-overseas Filipino worker, or a dual citizen or a permanent resident in another country, you actually have two options. Your first option is to present a 48-hour negative test. The other option is that if you are a fully recovered individual who recovered from COVID-19, you must present two positive tests with specific requirements. Let me provide you the specific travel requirement for this 48-hour negative test. So here is the actual wording. Present a negative RT-PCR test taken within 48 hours prior to the date and time of departure from the country of origin or first port of embarkation in a continuous travel to the Philippines, excluding layovers, provided that he or she has not left the airport premises or has not been admitted into another country during such layover. Let's talk about who are required to present a 48-hour negative test. Let me provide you the foreign nationals required to present the negative RT-PCR test. Please remember at the beginning of this video, I discussed the two options for Filipinos, but for all foreign nationals, you don't have an option to present the fully recovered individual from COVID. All foreign nationals, including former Filipino citizens, foreign spouse, foreign child, and foreign tourists, whether included in visa-free countries or not. So all foreign nationals. If you are a former Filipino citizen or a Balikbayan, unfortunately, you must also present a 48-hour negative test. You don't have that option of presenting the fully recovered from COVID requirements because that is only applicable to Filipino citizens or Filipino passport holders. Where can you obtain a faster RT-PCR test result? When searching online, use the words RT-PCR test for international travel near me, and it will show you the different options. For example, this website HasTech offers RT-PCR test, but it will cost you $225 for 30 minutes. You can get the results for 30 minutes. As of this time, antigen test is not accepted in the Philippines. RT-PCR test is the only acceptable testing requirement. Let me give you more options. Let's check fasttestnow.com. There are different requirements when going for a testing service. First, you may be asked to find your location. If you go to your local pharmacy, it could take you longer to get your results. So I would recommend going to a private lab to get tested for international travel. There are several options online. All you have to do is to search. This one, the amount is $249. This is the cheapest. And the other one is the 3-hour turnaround time. It's $299. And the urgent one, the RT-PCR test, it will cost you $395. It is really expensive to use the same day test results. I would recommend to shop around to find a reasonable amount for your RT-PCR test if you're going to get it on the same day. If you can find the cheapest option for your RT-PCR test within 48 hours, then go for it. Let's find another option. Let's try this samedayhealth.com. You have an option to visit a lab, or you can book an appointment where a house call could be done and you can get tested at home. Please take note that it will be more expensive if you get tested at home, so weigh the different options based on your budget and time. Let me provide different scenarios for those who are flying through direct flights, those who will have multiple flights from the same country, or multiple flights from different countries. What happens if you exit in a different country? Here's an example: straight flight or direct flight. You must take your RT-PCR test and get the results within 48 hours. For example, your flight is on March 24 at 6 a.m. You must take your test at 6 a.m. on March 22nd onward. So you must take the test and get the results within 48 hours. And then you arrive on March 26 in the Philippines. Let's use another example: multiple flight in the same country. Take your RT-PCR test within 48 hours. For example, March 24 is your departure time at 1 p.m. You must take your test and get the results from 1 p.m. onwards. So anytime within that time frame on March 22nd. This is just an example. Okay, multiple flights, different country. Same scenario, but different countries. March 24 departure, 6:30 a.m. So you must take your RT-PCR test on March 22nd, 6:30 a.m. onwards and get the results. I'm just showing you this example if you are in a multiple flight and you are in different countries. However, if you are exiting another country, for example, March 24, 1 p.m. is your departure time. Take your test March 22nd, 1 p.m. onwards. However, if you are in a different country, you exited and stayed 1 or 2 days, you must take another RT-PCR test results because you exited this time. For fully recovered Filipino nationals with positive RT-PCR test, you can still enter the Philippines as long as you have a positive RT-PCR test not earlier than 10 days, but not later than 30 days prior to the date and time of departure from the country of origin. Another positive test needed is your test taken within 48 hours prior to the date and time of departure from the country of origin. So you will have to present 2 positive tests in order to avail of this fully recovered rule for Filipino nationals. In addition, you must also present a medical certificate. There are certain requirements that you needed to comply for you to be able to use the medical certificate. The medical certificate must be issued by a licensed physician stating that the Filipino national, certifying that he or she was an asymptomatic, mild, moderate, severe, or critical case of COVID-19, as the case may be, or has completed the mandatory isolation period. The isolation period is from the country of origin, not necessarily the isolation requirements in the Philippines. Also, must certify that the Filipino is no longer infectious and has been allowed free movement and travel. So in short, the Filipino national must be cleared for travel. Here is the latest quarantine requirements for those fully recovered Filipino nationals with positive RT-PCR test results. For those who are vaccinated, there is actually no facility-based quarantine. All you have to do is self-monitor for any sign or symptom for 7 days, with the first day being the date of arrival, and shall be required to report to the local government unit of destination upon the manifestation of symptoms, if any. For unvaccinated, you will be required to quarantine in a facility-based hotel until the release of a negative RT-PCR test taken on the 5th day, and you will be required to undergo home quarantine until the 14th day, with the date of arrival being the 1st. If you have any other questions or comments, please post them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys for supporting my channel, and if you haven't liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. I always welcome new subscribers. Thank you guys for watching. I hope everyone is staying safe and have a great day.